everybody, what is going on today? We are working on the tedder behind me here. We have a rainy day, so we're in the big building here. And I just thought I'd share with you a little bit about this tedder. It's a PEQUEA TT4000. It is an older model. I think it's like a 07-ish, give or take. So it's quite a few years old now. It's been a good tedder for us. I would like to upgrade to a 6 basket, but there's other things ahead of this that I want to upgrade, such as the rake. I love this rake, but I would like to have one that does 2 rows at a time and save me a lot of time, because I always double the windrows. Sometimes in second or third cut I might triple them. But anyway, that's not what today's video is about. It's about the tedder. So a couple things we got to work on. I have some new hoses here I had made up. Just real quick, this little guy here goes from that valve body down to there, which is the bottom of the cylinder that hydraulically picks the tedder, those baskets up and down. And what had happened was over time, and these were just factory hoses, not the world's greatest design, but over time they rubbed. This one was fed down this way, and it rubbed right here, and the old one got a hole in it. So I had 2 of these made up, one for this side, one for that side. And actually if I can manage to step over all of this crapola, I can show you right here. Here's the old one, or the old one on this side. This is basically what it does, and you can see there it's wearing a hole in it. This one is not leaking, the other one was leaking. So I just opted to get 2 new ones, and I did get some, I think it's like a radiator hose maybe or something, and we're going to zip tie a piece of that in this section so that the hose has some protection. So it is going to continue to rub. There's not much I can do about that, but it won't be rubbing on the hose. It'll be rubbing on a protective hose. So there's those 2 hoses to replace, and then there is one of these big long hoses that goes to the tractor. It was leaking a little bit, and it actually had a short piece and then a long piece. Somebody had already spliced it back together once. So since that was kind of leaking and I was getting hoses made up, oh, sorry, stepping over the tedder tongue, I decided to have a new one of those made up, which is this guy here. There's the end that plugs into your remote. So we got to put that on. And then tedder teeth. We have to put some tedder teeth on. You can see there's one missing there. I think there's actually 2 missing, and then there's some that only have 1 tooth on them. There's supposed to be 2 teeth coming down. So we'll have to replace some of those and check bolts, because I think there was a couple that the bolts were loose. Oh, here's one. Here's a good example. The bolt is just loose on that one. So we need to tighten bolts and put new teeth on, and see to something like this is getting to the end of its life cycle. You can see how wide that is compared to, like, here's a newer one. This one I think I put on last year, but you see how close they are together versus what ends up happening, hitting the ground. It starts to slowly bend the teeth. You can see where it's separating here. And while that's not a big deal at the moment, what ends up happening is as these get bent more and more and more, as they go around and they come through like an area like this where there's multiple teeth coming together, as they come through and they meet, if one of these is hanging out further than it's supposed to, it'll actually start whacking off another one, and then it'll bend and get worse and worse and worse. So sometimes it's better just to take them off and just go ahead and replace them. Now there's another one that's missing a tooth. I don't normally let the tedder get this bad with teeth, but I had a new farm that I did, and most of the ground I do is rough. There's just no 2 ways about it. It's just rough, and I had a new farm. I wasn't sure how that was going to be. That one, of course, is rough, just like the other one. So this tedder has so many teeth on it that if you're missing a couple here and there, you absolutely don't even notice. So I just kind of let it go till I was done with all of my first cut in the rough ground. So I did do a little second cut a while ago, but now I'm going to get into it kind of full time now. Since all the first cut is done, I'll be working on second and a little bit of third. So I want to make sure that I have as many teeth as I can in place. Everything's working good so that I grab the second and third cut, because as most of you know, the second and third cut is thinner, so you have to have things adjusted a little bit better. So that's what we're going to do here now. Get all these teeth and hoses fixed up and go from there. So I do have some teeth, and I'll show you. You can notice PEQUEA, and I'm not sure if other manufacturers do this or not, but as an example, if you can see that that is actually a gray tooth and this is a black tooth. There's actually a left and right hand teeth, and PEQUEA color coats them for you, so you know which ones are supposed to go where. So that's kind of cool. So I have some additional teeth, and the new ones I got are both colors. They are gray and black. So just keep that in mind. I think a lot of manufacturers do have left and right. I don't know whether they color coat them, but if you're new to the hay game and you get a tedder and you need teeth on it, check into that. Make sure that there's not a left and right, and if there is, make sure you buy the appropriate ones, because there's nothing worse than running somewhere, getting stuff, getting home, and finding out it's not what you need. So let's get started on the repair. All right, I actually have a teddered tooth here that came off, and let's see if we can kind of line them up. Yeah, I mean, that one is quite a bit shorter than the other one, and sometimes that's what happens. You start putting new ones on, and then when you adjust it, you end up adjusting it. The old ones will be in the front, and then the new ones are dragging the ground. But anyway, these are all the little pieces you need. I'm going to show you here in a second. These are all the pieces you need to install one of these on a PEQUEA tedder. There's all kinds of little spacers and a washer and stuff here. So let me head over to the tedder and I will show you how to do this. Okay, so we're going to do this one. It's got one tooth that's broken off. The bolt and everything is still here, all the spacers, so that's good. So let's take our 3/4 inch stuff here and we'll take this off. There we go. Okay, that didn't want to come off. So our washer and nut just fell off the bottom. Alright, so that was on the bottom like that. Then here we pull our bolt out, and we have this little spacer guy right on the top. If I don't drop it, you can see that there's curvature here. That's because this is a pipe, so it's round and it's made to fit around that. So that was like that. And then lastly down here, down inside of here is our last spacer that came off. So I'm going to take all that off. Okay, so we got all of our pieces here. We're going to put this little spacer back on. It's probably going to fall on the ground. That'll go in there. We can set that on there. Yeah, it just wants to fall off. The other one was stuck in there when I took it off. Then we're going to take our little piece with the curvature in it. We're going to work that down in our tooth. we'll take our bolt, shove that down through, and now we need to put this little spacer, shove that up in there, and then we have our flat washer that goes on next, and lastly the nut. Alright, there you have it. I actually ended up changing the bolt out. The bottom of that was stripped a little and I didn't want to deal with it. So that's what it looks like from the side. Bolt. We have sort of a rectangular spacer, oval spacer, big washer, lock nut. And that's that. So I'm going to go and finish the rest of these. There's some that need to be tightened, some that need to be replaced. And I'm going to continue on and finish those up. Okay, so this is what I ended up replacing. I did these two here. I'm going to save them as spares, but these were two that were starting to get like ridiculously wide here. Those ones that a couple more hits on something and then they'd start hitting stuff. So I did those two. I had three that were broken that just had one tine left on them, and I had three that were just completely missing. So I got all of those changed. The only thing I have left to do is just this one hose that goes on the far side over there, just like I did this one. And I also have to put my little extra piece of rubber on here, zip tie it so that doesn't come down and rub a hole there. So I still have to do those couple things, but I'm not going to finish that today. I'm actually going to wait to do that other hose until I get the tedder out and I'm about ready to use it, because it'll be a heck of a lot easier with the thing unfolded. I'm just doing this here today because, like I said, it's a rainy day. I'm in here and I don't feel like, I mean, my truck's easy to move, but I'd have to move the rake and the tractor's behind me, and then I have to pull that out and open it up and everything. I don't feel like doing that today. Changing that hose will take 10 minutes when I go to actually use the thing, and that other one doesn't even have a hole in it yet. So but anyway, that's it for today, me rambling on. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was a little bit helpful to see. I don't know, I'd be curious. Leave comments down below if you have a tedder, what brand it is, and do they use left and right teeth, and do they use all those little spacers and stuff that PEQUEA does. I'd be kind of curious to see what some of the other brands do. So leave that info in the comments down below. Any questions about this tedder or what I did here today, again, down below, and any general thoughts or comments down below. Don't forget the subscribe button, okay? Don't forget that on your way out, the bell icon, and if you would please, a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.